Best ways to get high 2023. This is probably my most requested video to remake. I made a really good one last year, and I have some new opinions and new things for the list. So if you've been hounding me in my Twitch stream about it, here's the video. But seriously, join the Twitch stream. I do really cool smoke sessions every night after 9 p.m. And on 7/10, I'm going to do a 12-hour sesh. So tune into the Twitch, and you can actually support me for free with Amazon Prime. Just know that these are all my opinions. So if I absolutely roast something that you really like, if you like it, you like it. But if it's blunts, they're trash. All right, let's start off with bubbler here. Bubblers suck, bruh. It's like a dry pipe with a pitiful amount of water in it that's dirty after 1 or 2 hits, and it makes the bowl harder to empty and repack, because now you got that little chamber of water to worry about. I'm thinking C tier for this one. I don't know. I think I put it on B tier last year, but I added in a new tier on here. I didn't actually know how to use the tier maker last year. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get some more diverse rankings. Next one is dab straw, honey straw, nectar collector. This goes for the torched or the electronic versions. I'm not a big fan. They're not good for like a real good dab. You can do like a hot short dab that kind of rivals the hit of a vape pen, but you're not going to get like a really good low temp dab with it. So maybe I want to put it on, I think C tier. I don't really like them that much. Some of these might move around though. All right, to tinctures. I actually like tinctures. Anybody that's like, oh, I got my teeth pulled. Oh, I'm sick and I can't smoke. Tinctures seem like a really good way to get a decent dose in without having to eat a bunch of brownies or something. I'm going to put them on the B tier just because most of the tinctures that you have access to are like lower dose. They are underwhelming. If you find like a nice super potent one, it can be really good. Oh, all right. Next on the list is vape pens. We got cart night coming up on 6/20. We're doing a carts only sesh, but let's see where they rank. I actually heard a lot of feelings with the placement on this one last year. The thing about carts is you could put really, really good oil in them, but the delivery method, you're getting like a $1 atomizer. When you buy those carts in bulk, they're like $1 each, right? Empty carts, just the technology in them is not that great. For heating up high quality oils and giving you like really good vapor, they don't do a good job. You can get vapor, but it's not that good. I'm kind of torn between the B and C tier here. I'm gonna put it on C tier right now. Maybe that changes after cart night. We'll see. All right, the blunts. Blunts. There's a lot of people that really like blunts, but I gotta be blunt with you. It's the worst way to smoke. It's the worst way to do it. The literal worst way. You're taking one of the best, beautiful green things on the planet and wrapping it in brown doo-doo paper and making it worse. You're adding a whole different element of nicotine, and now you can get addicted to it. All for a thick piece of paper and some crappy artificial flavors. Blunts are trash. Poop tier. All right, the next one is bongs. I got a beaker bong here. I was thinking about doing like straight tubes and different kind of pieces. For this, we're just gonna keep it a little bit more general. So this means you got one that you really like. And for me, it's like an 18-inch tag. Whether I'm doing a combustion hit or a vapor hit for flower, bro, it's gonna be S tier, especially if it's a beaker. Now the next one I have on the list, I'll probably do these all together, the capsules, the RSO, and the edibles. So I actually really like RSO. It's one of my favorite forms of edibles. You get like a full spectrum extract and you get a really nice high. I feel like my experience or the high that I've got from RSO is better than any other kind of edible almost every time. I'm putting it in S tier. Now, edibles in general, a lot of them are made with distillate, and these capsules right here are like distillate caps typically. I've seen shatter caps, high THC caps. Usually it's like a distillate, and it doesn't have as many other cannabinoids and things like RSO might. So edibles, they're really good. You can have that next level high, that 6-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour plus high for some people. That intergalactic, I went to Jupiter and saw aliens type of high. You can get that with edibles where you might not be able to get there with just like bong rips or something. So I still will say like edibles, they're A tier. You can get an A tier experience, but it's hard to recreate and it's hard to do like every night like you can with bong rips or something. So A tier for edibles. And you know what? I'm going to put capsules right up there. The high, like I said, not quite as good as what I would get with RSO on average, but it is easy to get a lot of capsules. You know, I'm going to put capsules above the brownies because I can get 1,000 milligrams in one capsule, and sometimes you got to eat a bunch of brownies, or you eat one really, really green tasting brownie if they didn't use oil. Next on the list, I just did a whole e-rig tier list. It's really hard to rank e-rigs in general. There's so many. They're all like $100 to $400. This one's about $4. But there's a lot of just terrible ones. So if you want an in-depth breakdown, look up my e-rig tier list, and I think there's 19 different e-rigs on that list. But I'm just going to talk about the Puffco. I have the Puffco Puffco Peak Pro. I actually ordered the new one. It should be here soon. Maybe I'll make a couple of videos on that. But if we're just talking about the Puffco, it's S tier. Proxy, S tier. Puffco Peak Pro S tier, you get really consistent dabs. I can push the button. It'll do 10, 20 dabs or so before I need to recharge it. And I don't have to worry about messing it up with the torch or running out of butane. I just have to worry about keeping it charged. When you got a Puffco, waiting on the plug is a whole different game. All right, this is where I caught a lot of flack. I made a video last year called Herb Vapes Should Be Better. And honestly, the Redditors came for me. There's a lot of dudes out there that are really into vapor. But I'm still going to stand by my original point. Herb Vapes should be better. Most of them out there are trash. There's only one type that I would recommend, and there's so many types. So if we're talking like your A-risers, your desktop vapes, even like a Volcano, the price on it is insane for the performance. The issue with most of these flower vapes is that they just give you like an underwhelming hit. You don't get like a ton of vapor. So you just sit here and you sip on it forever like you have to do with a vape pen, you know? So honestly, I'm still gonna put these, I think, like a B tier, bro. Like most of them are trash. Unless you're using a ball vape or unless you're using maybe a Volcano or something, you're not really gonna get big hits. But that's why I have ball vapes separately here. I have a couple of videos on them if you're not sure what they are, but it's basically like an e-nail coil filled with ruby terp pearls, and that's where you're getting the heat from. It's a convection vape, but it has a lot of heat to it. A lot of the other ones have a tiny little heating element that after you pull on for 10 seconds isn't hot enough to keep the vapor rolling. So ball vapes, honestly, this is my new favorite way to get high. This is the method that if I could only do one right now, I would probably do that. So ball vapes, really, if you got a good flower and a good ball vape and you got a decent set of lungs, you're gonna get some monster hits. I'm thinking S tier, and honestly, top of the S tier above everything else. All right, next we have joints on the list. I classed some crap for joints, right? I classed some crap, but let's catch some crap again, bro. Joints are trash. Like, it doesn't matter how good your flower is. You wrap it up in paper. Wrapping it up in a paper makes you less efficient with your flower overall, meaning you're gonna smoke more, you're gonna get less high, and you're smoking paper. Like, it seems silly to me, right? I can understand, you know, it's nice to sit there and chill with a joint. But like after trying every different way out for getting high, like I never think about this. I never do, unless it's a super infused moon rock, tons of oil, tons of keef in there, a high quality joint that's gonna burn slow and give me super milky hits each time. I'm not even thinking about it. And I barely even think about those joints. I think I'm going D tier on this. Like, I kind of want to put it on C tier, but I'd rather hit any of these, bro. I'd rather hit a vape pen than a joint. Because, like, I could probably find a rosin pen, but, like, even if I get, like, the best flower and put the rosin and stuff in the paper, it's still in a paper. All right, dry pipes. We've all hit one, right? If you haven't hit a dry pipe, do yourself a favor. And don't. They're terrible. Like, water percolation really steps your whole game up. And it also helps you prevent pulling hot embers and ash into your throat. I actually hit a chillum last month. What was it? My 520 combustion only stream. It had been a while since I'd done combustion. You know what? I got some Scooby snacks. It had been a while. And I'm like, you know what? I never even have to think about this with a water pipe. I never even have to think about it. So even if you're being careful, you can still have an uh-oh. But even if you don't pull ash or hot embers into your mouth, it's still a terrible, unenjoyable hit. It's so hot, it's so dry, you can't get a big old hit. Dry pipes, they're bad. I'll say D tier. I was gonna do like steamrollers and chillums and stuff, but those are all dry pipes. That's all D tier kind of stuff. I will say I think I'd rather hit out of a dry pipe than a joint though. All right, the vape pods compared to vape pens. I'm still not quite sure. I think last year I ranked it higher than pens, but like it's not much higher. And the thing with pods is some of them are worse than the 510 threaded pens. Not all of the proprietary pods, not all the pods that you can get out there are good. Some of them are. Some of them you get really nice hits with. They got a lot of surface area, create a lot of vapor. But some of them, they suck. They actually are bad. I remember getting, I think it was a G-Pen Geo or something. Bro, the hits on it tasted like burnt. It was terrible. There was another one I got. I think like the PAX one is good. There's like Ruby pods that I've used that are good. They're decent, but I don't know. I kind of don't want to rank it higher than carts, but maybe I'll put it at the top of C tier here. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it at B tier. Yeah, we'll put it at B tier. On average, I think I still would rather have a pod. There's better pods on average than there are like carts on average. You could find an endless amount of boof carts. We'll keep it there. Maybe I'll swap these around towards the end. Oh, I forgot I put this on the list, or I would have done it the same time as blunts. This is a little spliff right here, but I'm gonna do an all-encompassing anything with tobacco. If you're doing chops or mobiles or poppers or mokes or any kind of thing where you're putting tobacco in your flower, you ruined it. You're bad at smoking. Bro, I know people in like Europe, people in Australia, like, nah, mate, we got to do this. But like, bro, I'm telling you, if you got really, really good flower, if you got really good weed, you'll never want to put tobacco in it. Pooped here, it's so bad. Drinks. I really need to get some drinks. I haven't had any actual pre-made drinks since I don't know. I haven't had any since I made the last video, but I have had some powders and stuff that you mix in drinks. My issue here is like they limit edible doses in a lot of places. So I just can't quite get the dose that I need. Like I have to do a ton of powder and like a small amount of liquid, and I'm basically just like chewing the powder. I think I put it on S tier last year, but I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier right now just because I have more options on this. And it really is better than edibles on average, but still, I think when you eat it, it lasts a little bit longer. But I've had drink highs where they last like 6 hours. Ingestible highs are kind of hard to gauge. It's like you're not quite sure when they kick in, you're not quite sure how long they're gonna last. That's why it's harder to put them on S tier. Next, we have a certified stoner classic, the Gravity Bong. Take a little gallon jug, put it in a bucket, you cut the bottom off, you can make a waterfall one, you can make the little pull kind. I've hit so much yellow smoke out of so many plastic milk jugs, and I'm here to tell you I never want to do it again. I never want to, well, maybe once, but I never want to do it again for real. Oh God, Gravity Bong, you know what? Do you know what? I think I'm trying to see, like, would I rather hit this than everything else on the list? I'd rather hit a Gravity Bong than dry pipe anything with tobacco in it. No, I think that's good placement for it. I think I would rather hit a bubbler, even though it's a little bit more work. At least I'm most likely not smoking out of plastic. Now, the next one I have on here is the Dab Ready. It's this very cool e-nail-like banger heater. You just rest your banger on the coil. It's hard to see in the picture here. I use it on my Twitch stream a lot. But you just pop the banger off. It heats only the area you typically put the concentrate, the bottom and the sides where like your pearl would roll your concentrate. But different than an e-nail, the coil doesn't stay attached when you hit it. I pull the coil away, I put it on my rig. So you get like a traditional dab experience where that nail will be cooling after you hit it. And I get a cordless experience where I'm not attached to my e-nail. But the Dab Ready really gives me nice dabs. I get the same sensation as if I just perfectly heated a banger. So actually I would say it's a little bit better than an e-nail just because I do have that cordless option, and it's like a cool type of device I think they should look into making more of. We'll go with S tier on this one, and then I think that makes like an e-nail really A tier. Like the thing with e-nails is there's so many out there. You can use different kinds of nails, different styles to hold your coil on that. You're gonna get a lot of different results. It's hard to generalize them all. All right, last on the list, I have Cold Start and Glowy. I had these on the list last year, so I figured I'd put them on. Cold Start is very similar to how this Dab Ready works. But even Cold Starts, even if you're like a master at it, you could still mess them up every now and then. But I still think it's one of the best ways to dab. It's fuel efficient, it's quick, it's easy. And most of the people that are like, bro, I tried that out for the first time, and my first Cold Start hit was better than any other dab I took. It lets me know that it really is the better, easier method. So if you never tried a Cold Start dab, maybe try it out. I'm putting those on S tier. Now Glowies, I'm just putting this on the list for fun. If you're heating your nail up red hot, you're doing a Glowy. If you're holding the button down on your vape pen for as long as you can and doing a blinker, you're doing a Glowy. You're just doing an even worse portable version of it. If you buy G Pen wax vaporizers and you set them to the highest setting, you're doing Glowies. There's a lot of e-rigs out there that only do Glowies. That's why I really only put the Puffco on this list, because so many of them are doing scalding red hot dabs that you have no chance of enjoying. So Glowies are pooped here. I don't really think anything needs to be moved around, but there it is. If you like this video, you could support me for free. You can link your Amazon Prime to a Twitch account and you can subscribe to my Twitch for free. You save $5, but I still get a cut of the free sub that you use. I get that Jeff Bezos weed money. And if you want to see my tier list on e-rigs where I break down a bunch of different e-rigs that I've used, check out this video right here because there's a lot of bad ones. Have a lit day.